The MLB All-Star break is right around the corner. The trade deadline is going to be following not long after, making right now the perfect time to provide predictions for how the remaining portion of this 2026 season will go. Sean, you're going to help us figure out who's going to win each division in the AL and then come to a final verdict on who you think is going to be the team from the AL to get to the World Series. Let's start things off with the AL East. Right now, the Tampa Bay Rays are leading the AL East, but the Yankees are trailing behind. Who do you think is going to win the AL East?
I'm going with the Tampa Bay Rays, plus 160. You can get them right now to win the division. The Yankees are good. The Yankees are a fine team, but they're not the Tampa Bay Rays, and they're not clicking like the Tampa Bay Rays are because the Yankees' star players are not performing like Tampa Bay's star players are. Junior Caminero from Tampa Bay is on an absolute tear, and if I'm looking a couple months down the line, maybe Aaron Judge starts heating up. Maybe Jazz Chisholm grows up a little bit and starts locking in for the team. But the Yankees have had so many disasters that it has to be Tampa Bay's division to lose at this point. Plus, I got more confidence in their guys. I just do. If I'm looking at late August, early September, I have more confidence in Yandy Diaz getting a big hit. Chandler Simpson is a stud. I love Chandler Simpson, and I think he is going to be having some big deliverable moments at the end of the season. It's tight right now, and it's fine that it's tight right now because it looked like the Yankees were running away. Tampa Bay comes back, closes the gap. They're going to start running away. Plus, you don't get let down as much with Tampa Bay pitching. Pitching decisions? Yes. They will botch that every now and again, and the pitching staff and the coaching staff will make themselves look like fools. But the pitchers, Tampa Bay advantage. Batters, Tampa Bay advantage. Overall confidence in them, Tampa Bay advantage. They're taking the AL East.
You're still going with the Rays, even with the general assumption that the Yankees are going to be aggressively going after big names like they always do at the trade deadline. You still think that with a tight race right now that's only separated by a few games, you want to commit to the Rays?
Yes.
A much cheaper organization?
Yes. Give me the cheap because the Yankees, the big signing splurges they've had. Anthony Rizzo, tail end of career. Paul Goldschmidt still with the Yankees somehow. He's been fine, but it's just a big name. He has not been big impact for them. No, Tampa Bay, give me the cheap because eventually the cheap has to pay off. Tampa Bay is so many years into this analytics hardcore operation that at some point the math has to pay off. And if this year it just ends up being they win the AL East because of it, I'm more confident in it this year because Toronto's a little worse. Boston's terrible. Baltimore's a disaster we can't talk about today.
The AL Central is really narrow, just like the AL West, which we're going to get to in a second. But you've got the White Sox leading right now. You have the Guardians right behind them on their tail. And the Twins aren't really out of it despite being below 500 at the time of us taping this. How do you feel about the AL Central, which I feel like is always a division that is incredibly unpredictable?
Yes. Wow. Flexing your baseball knowledge here.
Screw you.
The AL Central is a mess, and it's always been a mess. And if you're talking about the AL Central, you have a death wish or some type of like masochism towards yourself because it's a terrible division at most times. It's not producing a lot of winners, but consistently, it's Cleveland's division. They've won it 7 out of last, or they've made the postseason the last 7 out of 10 years. They've made the postseason the last 2 years. This is not a division that's pushing 2 members into the playoffs. I am taking the Guardians to go to the playoffs and win this division. You can get them right now at minus 105. That lets you know they're behind the White Sox. That lets you know that everyone knows that the White Sox collapse is going to come. And this isn't the Tony La Russa White Sox, which was one of the worst on-field baseball products that we've seen in the 21st century. It's a better team, but if you told anybody from a year ago, any person tracking baseball, hey, did you know that by July 1st, the White Sox would be leading the AL Central? Nobody would believe you. And even if it were true, nobody would believe you if it continued through August 1st or September 1st. Cleveland is going to make a run, take it back from the White Sox. They're too stable. It's a too stable play. If you are placing that White Sox wager, it's too much risk. You're incurring too much risk for an upstart team that doesn't have enough live arms.
With a few months left in the regular season, I always find it interesting when you've got a team like the Guardians, despite not leading the division at this current moment, having minus odds. As you pointed out, that's kind of an indicator. But the Mariners are overwhelming favorites in the AL West. They're in second right behind by a half a game when we're taping this on June 30th, behind the Rangers. You also have the Astros who aren't far behind. You've got the Athletics also as the plucky team that people have been hyping up and talking about as like the fun team that everybody's been paying attention to, playing in the rinky-dink stadium that they're in at the current moment before they move to Vegas. Who do you think wins in the AL West?
Do you mean the perennial disappointment division here? AL West has been tragic this year, and I have to hold out hope for what I think is the most well-rounded team, because the Rangers is the spend-a-lot, do-nothing team. Houston is very sporadic this year, but they have talent. It's the Mariners. The Mariners, because they're 1 through 3 in the starting rotation, shouldn't be losing games that they're losing, and it just gets corrected as an MLB season continues. Logan Gilbert's a stud. George Kirby's a stud. Brian Wu, super stud. Long hair, most handsome player in baseball. Also, Joe, I'll give you a moment if you want to look him up.
I'm good.
He's stellar.
Also, I don't want to be all hot and bothered while we're recording the rest of this.
We've also seen a really off year from Cal Raleigh, who was just awesome last year, slugging home runs. You couldn't get anything by him. MVP candidate, like he was tremendous. This year, not so much. But if you're a great player, which is what Cal Raleigh showed that he wasn't like a one-off Randy Arozarena, who's also on the Mariners. He's doing okay. Cal Raleigh is going to find it, and then that is going to be the difference maker. Plus, I don't think there's anybody on the Astros better than Julio Rodriguez, and I don't think that anybody else in the AL West is going to be able to like rally whenever Seattle actually starts getting on a roll, because it's going to happen. You don't not get on a roll with this much talent in your starting rotation and this much talent on your defense. There's absolutely going to get it done, and I think you can get them at minus 125 right now to win that division. You should. That division's a mess. If you're watching that division, my condolences. It's been a painful first couple months of the season.
If we're looking at wild card teams, who do you think is, if they don't win their division, who do you see as the locks to get in?
Locks, Yankees, currently they're the leaders, plus 6 games back. I know it's not technically games back, they're games ahead, but plus 6 there, minus 10,000 odds to make the
Is that really?
Yes. Joe, I was going to come on here and just give the Yankees for the lock and be like, oh, you know what? They're at the top of the AL East. You know, they're gonna make
it's
it.
It's a slap in the face for the rest of the
Yeah, I saw plus 10,000. Can't do it. So I'm not. So yeah, great. Yankees are gonna make it. Also, locks, Astros. I know I was just kind of poo-pooing them, but I'm in. Yordan Alvarez is one of the best hitters in baseball. He's going to be a top 3 home run hitter this year. They just drive in runs, and they're frustrating. And everyone should hate the Astros still. I hate the Astros still, but they're only 1.5 games back, plus 130 to make the playoffs. You get good value from a team that just doesn't make mistakes. So it's that's one of the safer wild card bets that I have. Sleeper pick that I got, it's actually the Athletics. I actually love this Oakland Athletics team, Sacramento Athletics.
Yeah, I don't know if you can talk about what their location is. The ambiguous Athletics team.
Yeah, the ambiguous Athletics team. They are injured to bittens, Joe. They are. And they are always an experiment in their starting 5. Their bullpen is getting better. It's not bad. But I believe in Langoliers at catcher. He is an absolute beast. Nick Kurtz is solid. But they also have Jacob Wilson, who gets a ton of hits. He's on the 10-day right now. Tyler Soderstrom, he's on the 10-day right now. Brent Rooker, he's on the 10-day right now. If they get this team actually on the field, Zach Geloff on the 10-day right now, they get them on the field, get them back with Lawrence Butler and Jeff McNeil. It is a dangerous group. And I'm not doing the Moneyball 2.0 bit. That's hacky. That's bad. This is like no money ball. How about that? That's we should never
broke ball.
We should never do this again after that. but yes, it is broke ball. It is impressive. I think they're probably like the fastest team in the MLB. They're so good when they stay healthy, and I really think that they can and make a push in the AL, because it's more of like who else is surrounding and making a push. And I don't see it from the AL. We'll talk about the NL next, but this AL race is going to get whittled down to like 3 teams in the wild card for sure, and then maybe 2 butting up in early September. I think the Athletics could be in that 3 locked in pretty solidly into August.
Now the AL has been regarded as pretty weak for some time now. I feel like every time I hear people talking about who's coming out of the AL, and whenever I listen to New York radio, there's this belief that the Yankees can still surge and get to the World Series because it's a weak AL. Of that and all these thoughts that you pointed out here, which team do you like the most to rep the AL and get completely demolished by the Dodgers in the World Series?
That's right. The sacrificial lamb this year will be the Tampa Bay Rays. You can get them at plus 2,000.
Pick a team, any team.
That's right. And the Tampa Bay Rays aren't doing anything super special this year. They're just like the most grown-up team that I'm seeing. The Yankees are always it's always filled with delusion. The sports talk hosts filled with delusion, thinking that it's open for the taking. It's not. The Yankees aren't good enough. As we are recording this, coming off of a 4-game loss sweep to the Red Sox, who are objectively terrible. So you look at that and say, that's not a real organization. That's not a team that I'm investing in right now, where I'm seeing the value of them making the World Series. By the way, their value is jacked up. You're getting bad value, plus 500 for the Yankees to win the World Series. That's nuts. That's crazy. No, I like the Rays. The value on them is much better, and they're a better team, and they have less drama and less pressure, less expectations. And all the other winners, every other team that I said that could make the playoffs, the Rays could very closely sweep them. I'd be confident in that. They crush the Guardians. They crush the Mariners. Mariners might give them a little bump, actually. I'm not worried about them versus the Yankees or the Astros or the Athletics. I think they're far and away the best team in the AL right now. So if my money is going anywhere for the rest of the season, game to game, to make playoffs, to win division, to be the World Series rep, it's Tampa Bay.
Folks, do us a favor. Comment below. Who do you think is going to reach the World Series from the AL? Hit the like button on this video and subscribe so you don't miss out on future breakdowns and analysis for baseball or any other sport. We've got lots of great content on this channel. We'll catch you later.